Hey everybody, how are you today? Thank you for joining. I'm just going to give it another 30 seconds or so here and let some more people pop in. But this is Joey from Boomtown. Feel free to comment in and ask questions as we go about. You can chat into the GoToWebinar software that you have up on your screen right now. Just make sure that you can see the screen. I'm going to start moving the slides here in just a moment. All right, as I mentioned, I'm Joey from Boomtown. These webinars are supposed to be for new features, new updates. Basically, if you need a sales training or an operations training that is around the native software, if you need a better look into Poynt.net, Poynt HQ, which the merchants get access to, or in your team gets access to from an operational perspective, feel free to reach out, pointsales@goboomtown.com. We're always happy to set up those trainings with your team and set up actual trainings for just your team. Again, this is more of a webinar focused around our whole Poynt channel. And what we do is typically go over third-party applications, and we have a few third-party apps guest speakers today. We have Talik and ZeroPay who will be joining us, and I'm really excited to show you Talik POS, how it's definitely made a huge impact in the QSR, full restaurant, retail space, and how it's going to be a great upsell solution for you if if the merchant goes beyond the native software and needs more sophistication for the software. ZeroPay is even a new cash discount application. It's already getting a lot of buzz, and it's been great to work with them. A great team. So really excited to get that into our channel and help a lot of our resellers who are adamant about using cash discount and selling cash discount. So excited to have both of these guests on there. And what we'll do is we'll let them take over when their time's up, and we'll basically let them kind of show us a demo and show us really how it works and how you guys can sell it in the in the marketplace. So again, feel free to ask questions during the whole webinar. You can write in questions or you can chat questions, any comments or anything like that. Of course, if they're agnostic, I'll read them back out to the channel, and if they're a little bit more, if they're for your channel or your partner group only, I'll respond to you over email after the webinar. And then we do have a sales hub. Give me one moment. We do have sorry guys, I'm gonna mute someone. It just popped on. There we go. Okay, so we do have a sales hub. The sales hub is great because with the sales hub, you can get in there and you can get all the third-party apps information. You can get a lot of marketing and sales collateral. We also have the past webinars on there. So feel free to always jump in, and the sales hub that is public, I'll make sure that everybody gets this deck, and we'll email this whole presentation to everybody after. And make sure that, again, if anyone missed it, we'll have a recording of the webinar as well. So you can go through, our conversations with the third-party apps and some of the information that we went over today. All right, let's move to the next slide. So let's go over some updates before we jump into the guest speakers. I want to go over just mostly about some third-party apps, and then talk about why Poynt is definitely making headway in the payment space, and talk about some of my experiences with going to a lot of the payment conferences lately and why Poynt is still my favorite smart terminal and why it's done such a great job. But first reminder, Poynt 5 is available. You can get your hardware from TPG Phoenix Group. They do have the Poynt 5, the handheld. Does not have a printer, but there is a battery extender and a battery extender that has a printer that's coming along soon. I believe that Poynt is putting together an Amazon store that you can basically buy the battery packs or the holder that has the printer. But right now, the Poynt 5 handheld has been obviously gotten a lot of momentum since we released it in our channel in November. And then chargebacks, if your merchants pay a third-party application, this is just a reminder, that is a separate from the billing from the reseller. So if you have a Poynt merchant and maybe they move off Poynt, or you have a Poynt merchant and they become inactive, if they're paying third-party, the third-party for a third-party application, that billing is not going to stop until they actually cancel that billing. So just a reminder for your merchants and just for the channel, definitely something to call out, and I just don't want to obviously frustrate your merchants, and we don't want to frustrate your channel by chargebacks or anything like that. I'm talking about a few more applications today. You've seen this one before. Mangleman has been one of the top performing applications. It's a replacement for MindBody and Booker. It's a high-end POS and salon software. So reach out to their team. They have great sales support. They have great support in general. And that's been helping a lot of groups finally be able to sell to high-end salons with the Poynt terminal. Again, replacement for the expensive Mindbody and Booker that has kind of leaded the industry for a long time in that vertical specifically. So definitely get in touch with this team and learn why obviously a lot of the resellers on this webinar today are having such success. It's also that time of the year for tax, and Davo Sales Tax is a consulting group that basically built an application where they'll help your restaurant, your fast casual or kind of QSR do their sales tax. And so typically a lot of fast-paced environments that like a QSR or retail are looking for someone to help them with sales tax, and not something that's very it can be very expensive if you do it on your own, or if you go and find an accountant. They have a pretty low fee to help you out and obviously keep your books up to date. And so definitely reach out to Davo Technologies if you have maybe a multi-location group or a location that does a lot of transactions. That's typically the perfect merchant for a Davo tax solution. And then Factor 4 gift cards. We've had gift cards with Poynt from the beginning. Factor 4 has been a great team to work with. Again, I love that they have good sales support. They actually help you convert old gift cards. So if I maybe moved over from another smart terminal or a POS to Poynt, I have the ability to take the gift cards I originally had with that other system, and they'll help you convert it over to Poynt. So a great value add there for your merchant. And they also have gift cards available. So altogether, let us know if you have any questions. Feel free to reach out to sales at Factor 4 Gift, and they will help you out and obviously help you make that sale. So I want to talk quickly too about the 4 reasons why it's easy to sell Poynt versus other smart terminals. I've gone to a lot of conferences lately. I've seen all these other smart terminals, and I get the question a lot. Why is Poynt special when you're comparing it to other smart terminals? And there's obviously some beautiful hardware out there. There's some great companies to work with, but let's go over a few different reasons and why I think Poynt is obviously still really special, and why it's done such a good job. The first part is that there is a native register and terminal app on Poynt. So out of the box, right? When you open up the Poynt box, basically there is a register application with menu features, modifiers ready to go, and there's a terminal app on the Poynt system. That is actually, that's not the case for a lot of the other smart terminals. You typically have to pay a bunch of money for the hardware, and then you have to go buy and find another POS unless your organization has brought a POS app with it. And typically those POS applications they can be pretty expensive when your smaller merchant just wants, the very basic terminal or very basic register. And then even Talik is coming out with a free register on Poynt where basically, and Blake will talk about that today, but they're not, your merchant right away isn't paying for more, right? They're getting the native software. They're getting a lot of value out of the box. And then if they need to upgrade to something like Talik, they can do that. But again, you're not killing them with fees day one. And then the hardware, you can actually sell Poynt today. There's a lot of buzz around different terminals that come out. And then I always ask those groups, where can I get this hardware? I'm like, oh yeah, call TPG Phoenix Group, call these other groups, and typically they don't even have it yet. So it's starting to it's starting to catch up with a lot of groups that have been waiting to sell a smart terminal. And then they finally just kind of leaned over to Boomtown and said, can I start selling Poynt? I need to sell something today. I need to add a lot of value to my merchant. I don't want to sell them dumb brick terminals. I want to sell them a smart terminal. And then the cost of the Poynt hardware is half the price of Square's new register and Verifone's Carbon, if not, 1/3 the cost. The native software is 1/4 the cost of the Clover software. And as you guys have seen in the native software recently with the invoices, recurring payments, a lot of the great features, you have the ability to do basically just as much as Clover, Square with the Poynt terminal. So you're saving your merchant a lot of money. And the last piece is, leading us into our guest speakers, a lot of upsell opportunities for every vertical, cash discount built in, and then Talik, which will help you. Again, they have a new free application, and they'll also help you. What they're going to do there is basically get you into QSR, full service restaurant, and retail. So with that, I'm going to unmute Blake from Talik and have him take the presenter role. So just give me one moment. And Blake, can you hear me?
Yep, I can.
Okay, Blake, I'm going to send you the presenter role right now, and I'll let you know when I see your screen.
Perfect.
All right, perfect. I do see your screen. And Blake, thank you for joining us today. Obviously, great to have you on here and get a refresh of Talik and learn about all the different features. We've had a lot of success. I see the numbers. Our team does a lot of training for Talik, the Boomtown team. So we train a lot of talent merchants, and just seeing all the sales come in, it's definitely, it's definitely, standing out. And we're seeing a lot of not just banks sell talent now, but it's actually a lot of ISOs are starting to sell talent on these smart terminals like Poynt. So Blake, thank you so much for joining us and obviously giving us the time today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on, Joy. So thank you everybody for kind of attending and being able to view kind of our software and what we bring to the table when it comes to Poynt. Just to give you a little bit of background about us, we were founded in 2012. We have offices located in Palo Alto, California, Scottsdale, Arizona, Dublin, Ireland, and Belize as well. We have 17,000 registers, a little over. Then we have about 11,000 customers throughout the United States, Canada, and the UK right now. Why Talic over another point of sale system? So, simple is probably the biggest compliment that we get. Our system is very easy to use. It's very easy to learn. If an employee has any experience with a POS, they generally talk about us and how it's just so easy to grasp what you're supposed to do. If I want to do something, it makes sense the way that gets done within our app. And that might not sound like a huge compliment, but in the point of sale industry, that's a massive compliment, because sometimes it just gets too overcomplicated for customers and they just want something simpler. We do carry a lot of great analytics and insights into their business. Some customers are, full bore into that. They love it. Some customers, it's not even a huge priority. It really just depends on the customer, but we have it there if they need it. Just 24/7 support, that's a huge one for customers as well. The ability to call in, talk to a human, not be jumped around to different areas is pretty big. So that's a huge one. And then of course we are cloud-based. So, internet connection is important, but that also gives them the ability to make changes, via the app. So they can make changes to their menu. They can make changes to employees, customers. They don't have to have a back office where they go to make changes. They can do it from either or with ours, since it is cloud-based. Jumping into kind of our target verticals here. So realistically, primary verticals are going to be cafes, quick serve restaurants, sit down restaurants, of course. Poynt is a great fit for that. And, table, pay at table, take order at table. Bars were a great fit as well. Poynt devices in the bars might be a little bit of a different, fit, but we have other equipment as well that might fit for a bar space. Retail, great. Poynt's great in retail. It's got a barcode scanner. We use the camera on it for the barcode scanner, so you can walk around, do stock takes. It's a great platform to use in that space, because they don't need a lot of screen to be able to do that, in the Poynt's condensed screen size. Some of our secondary verticals, yogurt shops, right? So any type of, that could probably fall quick serve. Entertainment venues, this one's huge for Poynt. You wouldn't expect it, but we get a lot of these entertainment venues where they'll have selling t-shirts or doing anything else at these stands, and they'll have lines of people sitting there, and they want a device that can go through and start taking orders through the line, right? Taking information. We have a giant customer that does an art festival. They use the Poynt devices with Talic to go through and gather customers' information, so that when they come up to the front, that customer information is already saved in the system. Great for setting up where they're going to ship the items to, and stuff on that line as well. Any type of outdoor, right? Food trucks. Obviously, the Poynt can get data plans on it, so that's a great add. And then home and garden as well. We've also fit in there. So our sweet spot's around 200K to 10 million, but in processing, excuse me, or 1 to 25 locations. I will say that when we do roll out free, Talic free with Poynt, obviously that sweet spot's going to get lowered significantly, right? It's going to basically fit your micro merchants on up. Obviously, with the free version, it'll have a base set of features, and then of course our goal is to get them to upgrade, right? We want them to pay for software, but that's obviously the plan with the free one, and when that is available, we will let you guys know. Solutions by use case. So we have the full countertop here. So it's just kind of giving you an example. We do have two abilities with the Poynt device, actually. We have the ability to run the full Talic app on the Poynt device. We also have the ability to run the Talic app on an iPad, yet use the Poynt device as the primary card reader. And it's still integrated. So you would hit pay in the Talic app on the iPad, and it would actually activate the Poynt device to take their credit card. And we do work with the Poynt 5 and the Poynt 6. The Poynt 5 is the smaller device, Poynt 6 being the larger one with the printer. And we have both features available on both. So if you want a smaller, more compact device and they want the full Talic app on it, We don't do the Talic app on phones like an iPhone, but we do it on the Point 5, which is essentially the same size, of course, just an Android base, where you can run that full Talic app. So order pay at table, obviously you see just the Poynt device here. And then of course, basic countertop, you'll see the ELO register there. I'm sure many of you guys have seen that out in the market, or maybe even sell that with another point of sale. Just our sales tool here. So we have a partner portal set up for our referrals that come in. Basically gives you information about our system, PDFs that you can go to learn a little bit about different features. Our website's a great tool for this as well. We have specified little sections that go to a different to certain business types. And from there, you can click on, see the features that we offer there, watch videos of it, watch customer testimonials. The big thing about this one is going to be the demo scheduler that you'll get off of this. So it'll allow you to schedule a demo time to have one of our reps, present to your customer. That's done the exact same way we're doing it right now. We don't use GoToMeeting anymore. We use Zoom instead, but same process, same concept. And then we have our lead submission form, and this is where you would submit leads. So the way that we work right now, we aren't looking at boarding any resellers where you handle all the reselling process. We do have minimums for that. If you feel like you can meet those minimums, please let me know. We can have that conversation. But for all of you that are on the call right now, we definitely have our referral program, which would mean that you get the customer set up with a Poynt device and you would refer over to us, and we can then sell the software on that. And of course, if you do get aligned with us before that, we can set you up in our referral program where you will get a kickback of that software fee. All right, I think I fit it all on the time, Joey.
Thank you, Blake. And I have a few comments as well. The Sales Hub that you just showed, that is available through our Sales Hub too. So if you go to Talic, you click on Talic, it actually takes you right to their Sales Hub, and you can basically schedule a demo with their team. Their team is great to work with. They'll help you close the deal. I definitely want to talk about some of the features that stand out to me on Talic. I love the website integration for order, delivery. There's the carry-out mechanism. There's a whole bunch of different mechanisms that help build loyalty around your customer. They have kind of the built-in loyalty with the platform. So really kind of actually keeping tabs on your customers, seeing how much value your customer is bringing, and then actually giving your customer many options on how to order, not just on the Poynt terminal, but online and a lot of different I think I'd call it intelligent routing mechanisms, where you can make an order and it can go to the kitchen, go to the bar. It's really built for the full service. It's really built for QSR and more sophisticated merchants. So one of the things that I've kind of taught a lot of the groups, and Blake, I know you guys have the free terminal coming out, but I'm just talking about the register right now that we're speaking about. And and one of the things that has helped a lot of the resellers is, if they have over 500 items, I typically say, hey, take a look at Talic. If they have, they want to start keeping track of their customers and build loyalty, and have a kind of table layout with maybe get the ELO station involved, and you can actually build a really steady POS system for kind of any restaurant as well. So that's been super helpful and very very intriguing for the sales reps to feel like they don't have they don't hit a wall when those questions come up. Any other kind of like main features that you think have been really helpful for your sales team while you're helping different channels?
Yeah. Obviously, we have features that are specific to retail, specific to restaurants, table layout, split ticket, the ability in the restaurant to do stock takes, purchase orders. It honestly depends, and that's why we really encourage you, if you have a customer that's interested, please set them up with a demo. Not only is it great for your customer because they can ask questions specific to the software, but it's great for you if you want to attend as well, because it'll allow you to learn more about the software too. And I will encourage all of you that are on the call, if you do have a request where you want to see what a Talic account looks like, kind of what our software looks like, I'm more than happy to cut you a demo account that you can use personally, either on the Poynt device where you would get the Talic app. You'll also have to shoot me, by the way, just as a side note, for the moment, you'll have to shoot me your Poynt serial number if you have one in office, and then I can get the Talic app pushed out to you. But you could use it on the Talic app. You can use it on an iPad. You can use it to go into the back office, view what that looks like. So if any of you are interested in that, a demo account that you can play around with, make your own, something that you can show customers as well, just shoot me an email. It's Blake, BLAKE @talic.com. Just go back to that page right there. And I can get that created for you so you have that access.
And they also have they have a beautiful design. The UI on the Poynt terminal looks really, really good. So it's definitely something that I would reach out to Blake about and get it on your Poynt terminal. You can basically have all different types of images for the menu items, different colors. It looks good, and people are excited when they see it, especially on the Poynt P16. And then I haven't used it too much on the Poynt 5 yet, but here's obviously he's logging in right now. But when you basically get in here and they have kind of a library of selections. But it looks good. It definitely is something that I'm always excited about when I'm selling, right? I want to sell something that looks nice and something that feels nice. And so Talek has always been that product, and definitely excited to brag about it when I show different resellers, different sales reps the Talek UI on the Poynt terminal. And Blake, so what are you taking us through right now? Is this kind of just the experience?
Yeah, I just run it through just so you guys can see. This would be what it would look like on the iOS portion, but the Poynt version is very similar. It's just condensed to fit the Poynt screen. We literally don't skip away much from the UI. It follows the same across each platform. We wanted that just because we do have the ability to use these across multiple platforms and have multi-platform usage. So you could have an iOS register set up there and have Poynt devices running the Talek app that are going around to the table and taking orders. And you could start a transaction on one, you could finish it on the other, and vice versa.
Perfect. Yeah, and it does look like, obviously exactly like this. It's just a taller version. This one's a longer version, but the UI is exactly the same. And yeah, we've had a lot of success. So we're really excited to get more exposure to our channel. Anything else you want to add on, or is there anything else that we can help? I have a few questions. It says, can you run Talek on an iPad? And of course, you can actually run Talek on iOS, and you can run it on the ELO hardware along with the Poynt hardware. So the way I've kind of visioned that, and I've seen a lot of groups do it, is they might even have some POS iPad or ELO stations in the back, and then they have the Poynt terminal as the pay at the table solution or the order at the table solution. Is that correct?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure. And then I have another question. Does it work with cash? You guys don't have a cash discount program today, do you?
We do not, but we do have the ability to do service charges. So, I mean, if you're looking to cover processing fees, it's not an exact match, but it can do essentially the job.
Okay, gotcha. And is it easy to transfer restaurant info from one POS system to the Talek system? How does your team handle that today?
Yeah, actually, so we have a free menu build, an initial menu build. Let me preface that. So if they send us a copy of their menu, whether it be a PDF, a picture, or some type of a spreadsheet, we will build in what we see into the point of sale for them to get a good start. Now, obviously, variations and modifiers are pretty prevalent in restaurants, and they might not expressly be written out on a menu. So for those, we'll help the customer, walk through how to create them, make sure that they are fully aware how to do so before they go off on their own. But yeah, that's kind of what we offer in terms of that for menu building.
Gotcha. Okay. And then with the new free register that's coming out, do you have any kind of idea of what that will entail, or what kind of functionality that will have before it gets on to the more sophisticated features?
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll just get a little breakdown guide for you guys so you can see the different tiers that we have and then what features are included in each tier, so you could decide, which route is the best route for a potential customer. And I can get that out to you, Joey, and you can forward on.
Okay, perfect. So what I'll do, guys, is I'll send out this deck, this webinar recording, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put that information in there as well. You might get it at the end of the week, maybe early next week, and I'll make sure that to connect with Blake and get a kind of a breakdown of the different functionalities. That will be great. Obviously something for you to speak to, which is going to be a lot easier for you to sell out in the field. And it says, does it print the cardholder's name, server number, and basically the number of transactions?
So it'll print the cardholder's name if you're using MagStripe. EMV, it's not grabbing names off of EMV chip. It will print the server number or server ID, or however you want to use an employee kind of mechanism to view them. So yeah, and guys, for all these questions, these like little one-off ones that are like specific to a certain feature, just shoot those to me in an email and I can get you an answer, and I can get into a little bit more detail with you on them as well. And once again, it's just Blake, BLAKE @talek.com.
All right, great. And then I am getting some integration questions. Yeah, guys, that's a great question to email Blake @talek.com, and he can go over the different integrations they have, if they have them, and how they're functioning today. But Blake, it seems like that's it for questions. Obviously, thank you so much for taking the time today. Really excited to have you on here. And then, yeah, hopefully we'll catch up with you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you, Joey. Thank you, everybody, for having me on.
Thanks again. All right, so let's get over to, give me 1 second. Let me get over to myself here. And sorry, guys, I'm going to change my presenter role. Okay, let's go to screen 2. And you should see my screen here in just a moment. All right, so now I have Krista from Zero Pay. And give me 1 second, Krista. I'm just going to unmute.
Yep, I'm on my phone, so you should be able to hear me.
Okay, perfect. I can hear you. Okay, great. Hey, so thank you,
Okay,
obviously, for joining. And yeah, we'd love to hear more about Zero Pay. I know we have a lot of members on from our channel on here today, and really excited to hear more about cash discount and how you guys have built it on the Poynt terminal. And feel free to just say next when you want me to go to the next slide. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for having me today. Zero Pay is a cash discount application, and it's fully integrated with Poynt and Poynt 5 payment methods. So it actually shows up as a payment type when you go in and use the terminal or the register. So it's not a separate application. The merchant doesn't need to use a separate app to actually process the payment as a cash discount payment. Next, Joey. So all that the merchant would need to do is download the cash discount application from the App Store, go in, and it's really simple. They just go in, select the plan that they want, so either single terminal or multi-terminal, which is basically if the merchant has more than one device, they would select the multi-terminal or merchant account, and that would allow them to basically load multiple devices. And they go in, set the service charge, they go in and set if they want a transaction fee, and that's basically how they set up the Zero Pay. Joey, next. So when they go back out and click through the terminal or register, now when they go in to run the sale, it shows up right in the payment method. So they select credit, and if you look at step 4, you can see right there where it says cash discount. So the merchant would then just select the cash discount. It's going to show the cash price and the card price, and then the merchant select which one they're going to do, and they go ahead and process the payment. I actually received a Poynt terminal in the mail yesterday. I loaded this on. I had never used it before, and it took me less than 3 minutes to get this completely set up and functioning properly. So it's very user-friendly, very easy to use. Really a great, simple product. All the billing is handled through Poynt. Works with any processor certified with Poynt, so it doesn't have to be with a certain provider, as long as they're certified with, Poynt. It has over 500 users since it was released 2 weeks ago, so it's definitely very popular and has some decent usage. But yeah, it's a great, simple product.
And yeah, I downloaded on 2 of my Poynt terminals this week, and it was a great experience. Basically, like you said, once I downloaded it, went into the app, set the fee, and then it was part of the payment fragment going forward on the terminal and both the register app. I do have a few quick questions. Is there a default way? This is one that we knew we were going to get. Is there a default way that the payment method it gives cash discount instead of credit? So when I go to charge or cash, basically, right now it says credit in the top, and I have to toggle down and do cash discount. More of a manual process right now, but I haven't heard if there was a way to actually have it default to cash discount instead of credit.
Not yet.
Okay,
Not
and
yet.
I knew that. I knew that your team was actually working hard on that, and they have to work with Poynt specifically on that. It's definitely not something that you guys can just do overnight. It would have to change from a Poynt end. So we are speaking with Poynt about that. Another question for you: does it automatically block debit, and does it give the owner the option to select yes or no if they want to surcharge? I believe that this is not a surcharge.
Right. No, yeah, this is not a surcharge application, so it's not going to do that.
Yeah, and so there is a surcharge app, guys, in our sales hub if you want surcharge. This is purely for cash discount. So go to our sales hub. I believe that there is a company that does have surcharge. You'll see it there, and they can probably help you with anything surcharge related. And then just a reminder for the channel: surcharge is illegal in a good handful of states in the U.S. When converting the cash
Well,
discount,
okay.
merchant must change from monthly to daily settlement, correct? Do you know if that's,
Correct.
do you have an answer for that? Okay, correct.
Yeah, they do. They do. Otherwise, what will happen is they'll get a bill, and in my experience with a merchant, if they're collecting it on a daily basis, but they still get a bill at the end of the month, they don't quite understand how it makes sense. But when they do daily discount, basically the fee covers the surcharge, not the surcharge, but the actual cash discount fees cover the interchange. So at the end of the month, unless there's a statement fee or something like that, they really shouldn't see a bill.
Yep, absolutely. And the how many merchants are using Zero Pay today? Do you have kind of success stories around that, of how you've seen it in the marketplace today?
Yeah, so obviously there's a lot of buzz around cash discount, and I think really with this application where I see big opportunity not only in new sales, just because how easy it is to use and how integrated it is into Poynt, but if you have a base of merchants on Poynt, this is very easy to go back and solicit them for this product and explain how this can help them mitigate their processing fees. And it's so easy for them to go in and just add this to their existing device. So there's opportunity, I think, on, like I said, portfolio and on new sales. Really, it kind of sells itself.
And so they can choose when they use this app. So give me one second. I'm just trying to understand the question. Yeah, so they can choose. They said so they can choose when they use this app. That is correct. They can basically choose at the time of sale. The benefit, again, for this application is that they don't have to. They just download the app. They set it and forget. They don't have to go use another app to check out a merchant. They basically go to the regular terminal and register app. When they're checking out the merchant, they have the ability to toggle down. You'll see in the middle of the screen where it says credit. Toggle down and do cash discount. It's going to do all the legality, everything that you need on the receipt automatically. So they do have the option to choose. Do you have any verticals that are good to sell Zero Pay into, or is there successful verticals that you've seen your team or some of your resellers do well with?
Well, I think people do really well in your service industries, just because that's kind of a normal thing. I would say you've got tips and things like that, and I just feel like service has been very successful. Salons, things like that, veterinaries, larger ticket merchants, because they obviously feel the impact of that fee every month, that bill at the end of the month. So it's easier when somebody's spending, a significant amount of money to tack on a fee. So I think we've just seen success in a lot of, like I said, the service businesses.
Yeah, absolutely. And somebody just asked this PowerPoint will be sent out. Yes, this recording, the PowerPoint, the slides, they will be sent out to you. Give me till end of the week or early next week. I'm going to send out some follow-up material from each group. We've even done a video of how to use a Zero Pay application. How much is a Zero Pay app? Is there monthly fees for the app? Let's talk a little bit about the pricing.
Okay, so single terminal is $7.99, and for a merchant with multiple devices, it's $14.99.
All right, so $7.99 if I have one terminal, and then if I have a whole bunch of terminals, $14.99 a month. That's the fee that I paid on the Poynt terminal with my credit card to get access to cash discount. Okay, great. So again, $7.99 a month for a single terminal, guys, and then $14.99 if they have multi-terminal. Does Zero Pay differentiate credit and debit cards?
Does it differentiate credit and debit cards? No.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, I believe it does not. Okay. And this follows Visa's recommendations for cash discount that released. Yeah, so basically Visa's recommendations for cash discount, it's basically asking if this follows the recommendations. This follows the legality of the federal government, of the rules that the federal government has put in place. Visa is a little butthurt because they're losing some interchange, but at the end of the day, yes, this is following all the legality from a federal standpoint. Visa's little complaint back in October really hasn't made a stand in the federal court, which means that they're trying to be a powerhouse and say it's bad behavior, but at the end of the day, there's nothing that is illegal for if you are performing cash discount correctly. So again, I have to be very clear about that. You have to be performing it correctly. Make sure the receipts are being following the rules, and that's what these apps are doing for you. That's what this cash discount app is doing for you. It's making sure that you're following the rules and the merchant's following the rules as well. And I did get more questions on the pricing. Again, $7.99 a month per terminal. What signage requirements are needed for pricing, especially in New York? Michael, feel free to email me that question, and I can get more detail for you. And then I'm getting some, well, sorry guys, I'm just kind of reading through these questions. Some of them I can't read out loud, so I'm gonna have to figure out. So I believe you can go up to a 4% fee. I'm definitely not the expert here. Some have told me you can go higher. I believe that you can just set it at the 4%, and then it has to be like 3.99%. Have you heard anything on your side?
Yeah, so there really is no limit for the fee or the cap. It really just depends on who your provider is. They generally have it set so that the merchant's being charged a certain amount, and then the surcharge is a certain amount. So I would say you probably just need to work with your processor and make sure that you're setting up the merchant account to make sure that they're covering the interchange with the fee. But it's really easy to modify it in here. I went in and played around with it, and I changed it from $3.99 to $5, and as soon as I went back out and went into terminal, it automatically adjusted. So it looked really good, like really simple.
Yeah, and someone's asking me what. I was saying someone's asking me what the difference is between cash discount and surcharging. Feel free to email me. I can go through the differences with you and why cash discounting is legal and why surcharging is illegal in a handful of states. The easiest way to say surcharging is you're actually putting a penalty fee for using a credit card, where with cash discount you're providing a discount for using a credit card. So I can go in more in depth on what that means and obviously how to kind of sell that to the merchant. Yeah, so the zero pay, it's got another question. It is on the Poynt P16, the Poynt 5. I've seen it. You can actually go into the App Store. You can download it right away, and it's ready to go. I've used it. We did some videos of it yesterday to see how it works, and it's very smooth. I love that. It's easy. It's an easy experience once you download it. All right, let me see. How much are the machines? Paul, you said how much of them are the Poynt machines? Feel free to reach out to me directly. I can tell you how much the hardware is with TPG Phoenix Group. That should be directly with your hardware provider. So if you guys have not been a reseller, feel free to reach out to me. I can give you all the reseller information. Sorry, let me go look at month. Hey guys, legality questions, feel free to reach out to me directly as well. So I heard that at NEAA they spoke about how zero cost is not allowed to be used on debit card. How would that work? And so basically, I think they're saying, have you guys had any restrictions with debit cards, or have you guys been good with debit card and credit card with the cash discount functionality on the Poynt terminal?
Yeah, so far we have, but like I said, we are working on, with Poynt on kind of addressing the debit side.
Gotcha. And do you have any examples of the receipt by chance for the resellers of what the receipt looks like? I just download it. Okay. Yeah. That would be great if we can get some kind of samples of the receipts.
Yeah, I can do that. I can provide that to you, and then you can send it out.
Yep, absolutely. And someone asked, you do not need to have any other application to have the Zero Pay app. You have to have Poynt. It's going to come with a native terminal and register app. And then if you download the Zero Pay app, that is going to add the cash discount to the payment fragment on the terminal and register app. You do not need to have any other application for it. We see discount amount is based on average ticket size. Another question is, will you need to convert the merchant to a cash discount merchant with the processor if they start using the app? Do you know anything about actually, once I sign up my merchant, do I have to do anything on the back end with my processor?
Yeah, you're going to want to make sure that they're on daily discount, and you're going to want to make sure you're charging the merchant. So you're going to want to make sure you're charging the merchant, a rate of say $3.99, or you're charging the surcharge at $3.99 and charging the merchant like a $3.84, because that'll basically wash out the interchange and any other fees, because they're going to be paying interchange on the higher amount. So say $104 is charged because of that extra fee on the credit. You just need to make sure that you're covering that so that the fees wash out at the end of the month. So anybody that wants to reach out to me directly, I can explain how the pricing needs to work for it to make sense. So you don't get screwed up on their statement at the end of the month.
Okay, and I put your information here. It's inexpensive, which is great because I just download it on my terminal. I've been using it. Do you guys have any demo software? Just have them basically for now. Just download it on their terminal. They can pay the $7.99 a month, and then they can start utilizing it and demoing it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, and so it's been a great experience. If you need a video of how it works too, I have one of our resellers who just did a video of it and just kind of did a quick walkthrough. But I love that it's simple. It's clean. There is not this, it is set and forget. You do have to manually click the cash discount each time you do the cash discount, but that's kind of some easy training for your merchant, so that's nothing hard. And then, I've seen a lot of success already. We're having some groups that were using it out of the gate. I introduced a few of our resellers early on before the new year, and they already have their merchants up and running, and they haven't had any bugs or any issues. So obviously great to see that momentum, and great to have you on here. So thank you so much for obviously bringing this app to our channel and helping us sell more Poynt.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, guys, feel free to email me more questions. What I can do is basically I'll get you in touch with the right people. Joey@goboomtown.com. My number is on there as well. I'll send out this deck. I'll send out this recording, and then we can talk more about the Talic or the cash discount application and some of the other applications that I mentioned early on. Everybody have a great day, and make sure to go sell more Poynt. Reach out if you need our help, and we'll be ready to rock. Thanks everybody, and have a good one.
Thank you.